Now, on to the topic at hand. What does the rise of the global south mean for Britain? As Comrade Roger mentioned, I think a proper way to look at it will be to recognize the various classes that exist within British society. And on that, I think the major or the majority will actually have it better. The minority, the capitalist class, which has been, benefiting most from British imperialism. Let's not forget that the British are still around. A few days ago, the British king visited Kenya, and he was given a red carpet welcome. And despite all that, he couldn't even bring himself to properly apologize for what his kingdom did during the struggle for independence, where, close to 1.5 million people were put in concentration camps. There's the thought that majority or mostly known that Hitler did the worst kind of stuff, by enacting violence to, the white population. But let's not lose sight of the fact that countries like Britain were having, concentration camps, gulags in Africa. But still, 60 years later or so, the king couldn't bring himself to apologize. And part of it is realizing that comes with, consequences. After an apology, what next? Now there comes the topic of reparations. Already we are seeing some British media, kind of putting it as these are just African countries looking for handouts, but in reality, the pain inflicted during the struggle for independence has consequences still felt today. The fact that, African children are uneducated, don't eat properly. Just to give you an analogy, in the DRC, for example, where Glencore, which is listed in the London Stock Exchange, operates, we have a 15-year-old child, already a mother of 10, late into the stages of HIV. And this girl, she's a girl, cannot even afford to feed a child. She's looking at death. Death is at the door. And this is the reality of a lot, tens of thousands of children operating just within Eastern Congo. And something that was mentioned was, in your consciousness, you won't expect this to happen to, say, a child from San Francisco. It's just absurd, but because it's an African child, it's normalized. So I think as the global south develops, this will change more and more. First, I believe the looting of the global south by Britain as a junior partner of imperialism only benefits a handful of people in Britain, the elite. Again, looking at the offshore banking system, the British Virgin Islands, London itself, this doesn't benefit majority of Britons. In fact, due to this high or the skewed housing market in London, majority of people cannot afford to live in London. Now, should Britain lose its capacity or its ability to loot the global south, we expect that a lot less money will get into these offshore havens, which, in turn will mean maybe housing becomes a lot more affordable to people in Britain. And then moving on to, I think at the heart of it also is, this will make it a lot easier for the left in Britain to organize, which I think speaks to the role or the interconnectedness of our struggle. I believe the global south left has to organize alongside the global north. We all have a role to play in dismantling imperialism as it exists today. I think as the resources Britain acquires from looting the global south continually decrease, this will give a lot more room to leftist organizing, progressive organizing. And you can see it right now, even in the issue of Palestine, where hundreds of thousands of people come out despite government threats, like, calling them marches for hate and stuff like that. So I think at the heart of it, the rise of the global south brings forth opportunities, both for the global south and the majority in Britain. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. I'm really honored to be on this one. Thank you.